LA Knight, the megastar, the man who, in just a few short years, has gone from a mid-card fixture to one of WWE's most talked-about stars. His catchphrases are everywhere, the crowd reactions are some of the loudest you'll hear, and his popularity has only grown with every televised appearance. Now, after punching his ticket to the 2025 Money in the Bank match, LA Knight stands at a critical crossroads in his career, a moment that could define everything about his future in WWE. He's not a rookie, far from it. LA Knight is a seasoned veteran who spent years grinding in other promotions before finally making his way to WWE and earning a spot at the main table. He's fought, clawed, and scratched his way up. Every time it looked like his momentum would stall, the fans brought him back. Every time WWE seemed to hesitate, he roared right through, fueled by crowd energy that's impossible to ignore. But for all his charisma, all his crowd reactions, and all his success, that career-defining, top-tier championship win remains just out of reach. That's why this year's Money in the Bank isn't just another ladder match, it's a defining moment. It might truly be now or never for LA Knight's main event aspirations. Let's break down why. First, let's talk history. LA Knight's had a rough relationship with Money in the Bank so far. In 2023, he competed in the London event, and despite an arena full of fans rooting for him, he came up short. That year, Damian Priest grabbed the briefcase and the opportunity, while Knight was left to listen to the "yeah" chants echoing with disappointment. The story repeated in 2024. LA Knight made his way to the ladder match at Toronto, and once again, he had moments where it looked like this might be the night, but Drew McIntyre won, and Knight was left with nothing but bruises and, again, a crowd that desperately wanted more for him. This year, things feel even more urgent. On the May 23rd episode of SmackDown, LA Knight punched his ticket to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match by beating Shinsuke Nakamura and the recently returned Aleister Black in a triple threat qualifier. It was a classic LA Knight win. He capitalized on Black taking out Nakamura with the Black Mass, tossed Black out of the ring, and scored the pin. It was sneaky, it was smart, and it was the kind of win that fits perfectly into the Money in the Bank storyline. Now, the June 7th event at the Inuit Dome in Inglewood, California, is set to be one of the most important nights of his career. Looking at the rest of the lineup, it's a loaded match, big names, big opportunities, and while this script is being recorded before Monday Night Raw, there's heavy speculation that CM Punk could qualify by beating AJ Styles and Chad Gable. Imagine that, CM Punk and LA Knight, two megastars with very different WWE journeys, both in the same match. Both make sense as possible winners. Punk could win and call his shot for John Cena and the undisputed WWE Championship, setting up a blockbuster main event. But there's a feeling, deep down, that after everything LA Knight has gone through, this year should finally be his moment. If not now, then when? Let's rewind and look at why it hasn't happened yet. LA Knight has been consistently over with fans for more than a year. His reactions on Friday nights are among the loudest, whether it's a promo backstage, an in-ring segment, or even something as simple as walking out to the ring. Fans respond to him. He has the rare ability to make everything feel big. Yet, when it comes to reaching that next level, becoming the true face of the company or holding the world championship, something always gets in the way. Some people blame WWE's booking. Yes, they've put LA Knight in big spots. He's had matches at the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and even challenged Roman Reigns for the undisputed title at Crown Jewel in 2023. But when the chips are down, he's used to make other stars look good. He's been fed to the likes of Reigns and others who need a strong, popular opponent to make them look even better. That's not unusual in wrestling, but it's tough to see someone as over as Knight stuck as though almost their guy. Then there's the comparison to The Rock. Let's be honest, LA Knight has a voice, a promo style, and a charisma that sometimes feels straight out of The Rock's playbook. He knows it, the fans know it. His "yeah" catchphrase, his confidence, his pacing, all of it draws those comparisons. But it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gives him instant credibility and makes him stand out in today's WWE. On the other, it leads some people, especially online, to dismiss him as a Rock knockoff. It's not fair, but it's reality. Despite that, you can't argue with the numbers. LA Knight's merchandise sales were through the roof in 2023, making him one of WWE's top sellers, sometimes in the #1 spot. His social media engagement is massive. He's constantly trending, and there's clear evidence that fans want to see more of him, not less. WWE, to its credit, has kept him visible. He's almost always on TV, and he usually wins more matches than he loses. But there are levels to this business. Being a consistent presence isn't the same as being the guy, and so far, Knight hasn't been the guy. Not yet. Let's talk about the last 2 years, which might as well be the LA Knight story in 2 acts. In early 2023, after a wild feud with Bray Wyatt and a disappointing showing at the Royal Rumble, Knight faded from TV for a while, but even when he wasn't on the main shows, the crowd kept chanting for him. His reactions kept getting louder and more passionate. Finally, WWE started using him more regularly. He got feuds with big names, John Cena, The Miz, and started racking up more memorable segments. Then, the turning point, Crown Jewel 2023, LA Knight challenges Roman Reigns for the top title in WWE, but everyone in the arena knows he has zero chance. WWE made it clear that this was just a stopgap feud for Reigns, and Knight was fed to the champion. He loses, predictably, then he's put in a fatal 4-way at the Royal Rumble again, doesn't win, then The Rock returns, and suddenly, Knight's star power feels like it's taking a hit. He's no longer the most charismatic guy on the show. The biggest star in the world is back, and, like it or not, a lot of people can't help but compare the two. Some fans even turn on LA Knight, calling him a Rock clone. It's not a fair comparison. The Rock is one of the greatest talkers and biggest personalities the wrestling business has ever seen, maybe the greatest. Comparing LA Knight to him isn't just unfair, it's unrealistic. But WWE's audience, especially online, can be brutal, so LA Knight's stock drops a little. He's still over, but the narrative shifts. So here we are, summer 2025, and LA Knight is once again heading into Money in the Bank. The stakes are higher than ever. If he doesn't win, it won't be the end of the world. He'll still be a star, he'll still get reactions, but the feeling is growing that this might be his last, best chance to grab that elusive brass ring and finally reach the main event. Because here's the truth, WWE can only tease the audience so long before people give up hope. If LA Knight comes close again, only to fall short, the crowd might eventually move on. Other new faces are coming up. WWE is full of talented stars, hungry to take that next step. The window is closing for Knight, not because he isn't good enough, but because opportunities in WWE are finite. Every year, new stars arrive, and the spotlight shifts. For Triple H and WWE Creative, the question is simple: is LA Knight a future world champion? Is he someone you want to put at the very top of the card? If yes, then now's the time to prove it. Give him the Money in the Bank win. Let him run with the briefcase. Let him tease a cash in. Let him finally cash it in and win. Give the fans the payoff they've waited for. If not, if WWE sees him as an upper mid-card guy, a bridge between bigger names, then maybe it's time to admit that to the fans, and let him settle into that role. There's no shame in being a popular, successful wrestler who never quite reached the very top, but for the fans, and for LA Knight himself, it's now or never. Either he breaks through and becomes the main eventer everyone wants to see, or he remains a beloved almost their guy. So as Money in the Bank 2025 approaches, the spotlight shines on LA Knight. This is his moment. If he wins, it's the start of a new chapter, one where the chants finally ring out in the main event, with the championship over his shoulder. If not, it might be time for everyone to move on and accept that, for all his charisma and connection, WWE just isn't going to pull the trigger. Whatever happens, LA Knight's story is one of resilience, passion, and undeniable connection with the audience. But now, more than ever, the question hangs in the air: is it finally his time? Or will Money in the Bank 2025 be the last, best shot for the megastar? Let's find out.